Okay, the original idea was to take these old scans of programs and turn them into opening credits done more in Hollywood style at the front and back end of these productions. And we'll carry on with that, but in the interest of time, I thought I'd just run down the scans here as they came from my mom's collection of old newspaper clippings and programs. Nobody thought to film the inaugural Nutcracker performance, which took place in 1986, to the best of my knowledge, but this from the first annual in 1987, basically the same cast, I do believe, as the opening year and the year to follow. Debbie Fackrell-Walton, who differentiated herself from the rest of the troupe, as it were, was the ballet instructor, choreographer, and played the role of Clara. Yes, she could actually dance. Ed Beatty, my longtime across-the-highway neighbor, the Curiosity Shop at the time, was the Nutcracker for many, many years. The role of Dosselmeyer was played by Mel Baldwin of the Uinta County Herald in the first year, and I told that to my mom. She goes, I don't think he was. He might have been. Well, it definitely was Mel Baldwin in that second year, rather. The narrator was Uinta County Court Judge Larry Lehman. Mouse King was Jim Davis. He played that role for many years of home decor and the city of Evanston. Janet Kolb, who I've tried to track down since I saw her name again. Funny individual who worked for both KEVA and the Uinta County Herald. Patsy Medea of Eliza Doolittle's was also a mice, as was Jane Henderson of Mountain Fuel Supply at the time, and Sharon Constantine, what a great lady of the city of Evanston. Miss her a lot. She was a lot of fun. Soldiers were played by Kay Ellis of the Uinta County Herald, also Larry Harvey, hello there, of Hillcrest Chevron, Mike Anderson of Superior Services. Remember Mike Anderson and the Country Drifters, one and the same, and the late Dale Henderson of Barker and Henderson Appraisal. Snowflakes were Brad Jacobson, who went on to be a superintendent of Uinta County School District No. 1, the former coach and teacher. Bill Alexander, the longtime Snowflake, along with Bonnie Pendleton of Alexander Ragtime and Hillcrest Motel, respectively. Mark Harris of Harris & Harris Law Firm, and Patty Rosser, the CPA. The Sugar Plum Fairy was Nell Gerard, Beverly Taggart, as we know her today, of Scott's. You remember that great store downtown. Sugar Plum Prince was played by Hall of Fame football coach and educator Kay Fackrell. Russian dancers were John Prophet of Uinta Engineering and Surveying, Bob Sheets of Southwestern Homes, Dave Medea of Evanston Motor Company, Rand Otley Preferred Realty. Chinese dancers, Linda Otley of Unititle, Sue Sheets of The Perfect Pair, and Jan Havig of the Diet Center. The Christmas tree was Pat Henry in 1987. Guests were Marie Knudsen of Kazine and House at the time, Karen Taylor of First National Bank at the time, Berla Condas of Sutton's Jewelry, Mark Hansen of First National Bank, Mark Blokovich of MJ Blokovich, Bert Slavens, the late Bert Slavens of Uinta County, and Linda Conitz. The orchestra was conducted in 1987 by Don Constantine. At the time, the Davis Middle School band director, directed by Lynn Fox of Uinta Engineering and Surveying at the time, and assisted by Larry Lehman, the Uinta County Court judge. Again, 88 was the only year I could not find any listing on, but we move ahead to 1989. Clara was played by Chris Humphreys of the Evanston Park and Rec Department. Ed Beatty, again back as the Nutcracker. Dosselmeyer was Bert Slavens, narrated by Andy Bailey in 89. The Mouse King, again Jim Davis. The Mice were Barb Couture and Linda Streeter, along with Mary Smith and Janet Kolbeck of Unemployed Incorporated. Soldiers were Mike DiBartolo of First Wyoming Bank and Curtis of the Uinta County Herald, Jody DeRue of DeRue's Glassworks. Snowflakes, there's Bill Alexander and Bonnie Pendleton once again, along with Jane Henderson and Sue Sheets in 89. The Chinese dancers were Patsy Medea, Marianne Beatty, Janique Ekman, Lori Alexander. The Russians, Mark Harris, Dale Henderson, Bob Sheets, Dave Medea. Deb Walton also played an Arabian dancer, as did Jim Brennan, Lael Fisher of the County Assessor's Office, along with Judy Smith of Wild West Travel, Margaret Smith of the Uinta County Library, Dave Otley of Uinta Title and Insurance, and Brent Sanders of the time of Uinta Engineering and Surveying. The Sugar Plum Fairy, Nell Gerard, Beverly Taggart of Scott's. The Sugar Plum Prince, Kay Fackrell once again. The guests were Karen Burnell of Uinta Engineering and Surveying, Paul Knopf of the City of Evanston, Dan Stevens of Farmers Insurance, Fred Coles of Uinta Engineering and Surveying at the time, Trudy Davis of the Child Development Center, Amy Barker, teacher, Doug Eastman, City Drug. The orchestra conducted by Brian Lowe of YDOT, Lynn Fox directed, Linda Conitz assistant directed, and Andy Bailey as the Christmas tree. There's your cast of 87 and 89.